Open up the OJ, pop. It's Ham House, come on. Welcome to Ham House. No such thing as too loud. We can't even slow down. We about to roll out. Welcome to Ham House. Time to take control now. Putting kids in time out before we pull our arrow out. Welcome to Ham House. Welcome to Ham House.
What is up, guys? We are back here with another Ham House Live. This is week 5. We've skipped a few weeks because we've been really busy. Charlotte Card Show, but we are back. Open up the Coca-Cola today. Pop.
What's up, guys?
So what we got first on the schedule? Today is an amazing day of college
Yeah,
football.
big day in college football today. A
I'm a
lot
fan of
of
games
top
tomorrow.
25 games going on today, and we'll jump into that a little bit and talk about it. You guys feel
MLB
free.
playoffs too.
You guys feel free to comment, say what's up, see where you're coming in from. Chat up, Levi. What's up, dude? Appreciate you guys popping on. So Matthew, let's kind of start off with a little bit of chat about the sports card hobby. Because a lot of our followers on Instagram know us from Ham House Sports, talking about sports cards. Market's a little soft right now.
Very soft. I mean, this is like, so I would say from like May to August, the sports card hobby was so hot. Repackers were buying everything, the National, all these card shows. And now all that stuff's kind of died off. And sports card hobby is taking a bath right now, I
You
think.
think it's taking a bath?
Not a bath, but like it's not as hot as it used to be.
Speaking
Cards
of taking
would
a
be-
bath, you need to take a bath.
I do not smell that bad. I've been grinding at basketball because I have school basketball tryouts in 2 weeks. School football's about to finish, but
Fritter Sports Cards, what's good? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, we got school basketball starting up in 2 weeks. We've got football finishing up. I mean, it's been a super busy season
yeah,
for
for
us.
me. But
And to that end, we've paused a little bit on cards.
oh yeah,
The Nashville card shows this weekend. A bunch of our buddies are in Nashville doing work. Was it Chantilly's next weekend?
Mhm.
But the family's going to vacation down at Ocean Isle
Yay.
Beach. So Matthew, yay, we get to go to the beach. Yay. You're so
I can bike to the
spoiled.
beach right now.
You're
Yeah.
so spoiled. We're gonna be like living on the beach for a weekend, and you'd rather be in Chantilly.
Yes, with a bunch of smelly card guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I would.
Yeah. So anyway, the welcome to the life that I live. But let's see, Dothan, Alabama. Nice. I've got a buddy of mine who had an ice cream shop in Dothan. His name's Brett, and I can't remember the name of the ice cream shop. Who's this? Troy. Oh, Troy. What's up, dude?
Oh gosh,
Give Troy a hard time.
Matty
so-
Ice. I knew you were gonna say it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So sports card hobby. Why do you think it's soft right now, Matthew?
Sports card hobby. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I've seen a lot more people recently like get out of the hobby. Like, I don't know, like, if that sounds like, but a lot of people recently have like, you haven't seen many big buyers join the hobby recently, but you've seen a lot of people like leave the hobby. I'll text you about that later, Troy. But like, it's just nobody's like the high end stuff is like it's not moving as good as it was. Like,
Well, okay. During the pandemic, what launched this whole thing into the orbit was so much money coming into the hobby, and you had people getting, COVID money. You had loans for businesses.
yeah,
People were actively diving in, and now I think you have a thinning out of a lot of that
Those
kind of
people, yeah.
investment portfolio, not investment, but flippers, and stuff. And the reality is the overall economy does sway sports cards, and the economy's tight right now. You've had a couple of catastrophic events in the Southeast with hurricanes, with flooding and stuff like that. That puts stress on people. You've told me multiple times, Dad, how does an election affect cards? It does. And like we're seeing it now. Like people are on the sidelines going, you know what? I'm kind of waiting to see who wins the election. I'm kind of waiting to see what's going on with the economy. I'm kind of waiting to see. It's kind of a crazy time right now. There's like war in the Middle East. and all this kind of, and people are like, hey,
Yeah, but people fighting in the Middle East has nothing to do with
it
people
has
buying baseball
massive
cards.
things to do with people buying baseball cards. Not for a 14-year-old kid, but a 14-year-old kid does not drive the hobby market. Who ultimately drives the hobby market?
All eBay, the high-end auction houses.
High-end auction houses,
High-end
a lot
buyers.
of high-end buyers and collectors and things like that. And so it's a really, really interesting time. So what you see is a resetting of a lot of hyper-inflated cards and also too, you know what does this? Is when people get torched, absolutely torched on Will Levis, when they get torched on prospects.
Bryce Young.
Yeah,
Bryce Young, it's
people get torched on Jackson Holiday. When the speculators get torched.
So this is what I've noticed. Jackson Holiday brought the baseball prospect market up so much that the people that got crushed on him, like literally, like they didn't quit cards, but like they were pretty close.
Well, it put a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
It made him quit prospects. So Jackson Holiday, I like you. I own so many of your autographs, but you ruined the prospect hobby.
Dude, that is harsh. He didn't ruin anything. He's playing baseball. What ruined it is people's greed. Holiday had nothing to do with it.
He was playing. He
Holiday
went 0-31.
Holiday had nothing to do with that. The dude's adjusting to Major League Baseball at 20 years old. It's not his fault. No. It's greedy people that ruin the hobby. People want to get in. Dude, you have to look at the ceiling.
Okay, but think about it, like, there's never been anybody like their gold PSA 10 was $15K. Like Jackson Holiday, before he even touched an MLB field, his gold PSA 10 was $15K. But the
only reason why it was $15K is because people are greedy and they thought it was going to be this thing.
40K, yeah.
They dove in with the wrong intentions. What I'm saying is that is the correction that you're seeing. You have to have a little bit of greed and you have to have a little bit of fear of missing out in order to drive a marketplace. But ultimately, what makes the hobby is collectors. It is collectors.
I know that, but
the thing is, collectors.
But you have to get like what I've been picking up, like Big Matt. Yeah, Levi, I agree. Like I would say, Big Matt, like you always get on me. Oh, you're picking up too much Mahomes. You're picking too much Jordan. You can't not pick up too much of those players. While Will Levis, Bryce Young, all these players are going down, Michael Jordan, Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry, Mickey Mantle, these players will continue to go up because they own their sport. Patrick Mahomes is the most talented player to ever play the game of football.
But when you say continue to go up, I just want to remind you is that he came into the market at an already inflated market. So when you really look at Mahomes, look at what his rookie cards were doing in 2018, 2019.
Nothing.
I know.
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. The last 3 years are an anomaly that you have to cut out.
Because he won 2 Super Bowls and 2 MVPs.
But he did that while the card hobby was ultimately insane.
Exactly.
So
now those prices are coming down. They're going to continue to go back up.
Okay, I disagree. I think the whole market is in for massive correction. I think you're going to see some leveling off. When you can't tell me that like you take a and I want to go football to baseball, but like a Willie Mays. Like Willie Mays is like no argument one of the top 5 greatest baseball players of all time.
Yes, I agree.
And you have one of his cards, this is 51 Bowman, which is probably a pop 3,000 or less.
So let's just say, all right, here's what I like to look at. Willie Mays.
Keep going.
Yeah, Willie Mays, top 5 baseball player of all time. His rookie cards, probably 4,000 of them. Patrick Mahomes, one of the top 5 greatest football players of all time. There's a rookie card I have of him that's numbered to 199. Like, and you're telling me that, like, I don't know.
But how many rookie cards of his are to 199? There's probably 10 different variations to 199.
But nobody wants the Phoenix, the rookies and stars. Optic, Prism, NT, Select. Like, those are the only brands people want. So those are the only brands I'm buying. Patrick Mahomes is the best buy. Like, anybody asks me, any kid that goes to my school.
You're not listening to me. Hear me out here. A Willie Mays rookie card, 3,000 pop. Okay.
Yeah.
A PSA 1 does about $3 to $4 grand. Okay. You've got a Patrick Mahomes NT that's doing
a Mahomes NT does 80K.
80K. What I'm saying is there's 3,000, only 3,000, all brands of Willie Mays rookies, and of Mahomes, there's probably 150,000 over across. So when you look at a market cap, I do not think the pricing justifies the demand from a collector's standpoint.
Then go buy Willie Mays if you think it's a good buy.
I have, and
You have one Willie Mays.
I've got 6 Willie Mays cards.
Oh, well, 2 of them are all five of them are like cheap ones, but like.
But again, it's about this is solid long-term value. It's not now.
But
I will take
200 to 300 is different than 4,000 to 5,000.
I would say this 90% may be too strong. 90% of the hobby doesn't care about cards, players. This is from BH Barron. He says the hobby doesn't really care about the cards, the players, the teams, rather it's just about the return. And that's a great statement. And that's actually my point. The thing is this is I'm not saying you can't make money. I'm not saying cards is bad. I'm not saying flippers and investors are bad. I'm just simply saying for someone who's in the hobby, be aware of this dynamic that's going on so you don't get left with this asset that you think is just going to go up 30% every year. It's not.
I know, but like I feel like all the cards that I've bought for my PC, I've moved for like full comp. Like I haven't not moved to Mahomes, like good Mahomes for like full comp. I just sold the downtown.
But I'm saying, but you have to do it fast. My point with all of this is you have to do it quickly. If you don't do it quickly, it's dangerous because of the volatility.
You're saying don't be like a mix. You're either a collector or a straight flipper.
Yes,
I'm both because I collect the cards I like, but I flip the cards to make the money to buy the stuff that I like.
What I'm saying right now is if you're buying modern cards to collect, I think it's dangerous because take Holiday as an example.
Yeah, but I try to go buy a Mantle and you're like, oh, you have too much in PC, don't go buy it.
I've never told you not to buy a Mantle.
Dude, every single time I tell you I'm going to go buy this, oh, you have too much in PC. Like,
when have I said that?
I wanted to go buy a 53 Mantle, and I think it's too much of a big investment for me until I sell some stuff.
That's you, not me.
I have a.
Why do you put that on me? I didn't tell you that.
I want a 53 Mantle right now, but like, I just don't know. I think that Mahomes, but like the cards I'm chasing right now, a Mahomes 2022 Kaboom. That's one of the cards I want. And then a Mahomes Blue Wave Prism. So all Mahomes. I have way too much of him.
You do. And that's what I'm saying. If you want to get a Mahomes, pick one card that you're going to like. But what I'm saying is that understand that his market has already been popped off.
Because he's good.
I understand that. But the demand for his market is going to be challenging to keep up with the price point that's there. It's what we talk about with prospects all the time. If you got a prospect that's doing more than a perennial all-star, right?
Yeah.
And the
what player is Mahomes doing more than that's like a perennial all-star?
I'm not sure.
What player is Mahomes doing more than who's better than him? What's the player better than Mahomes?
Mahomes cards are more expensive than Brady's cards right now.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
You can buy a Brady Bowman. What's a Brady Bowman?
Because Brady Bowmans are trash. We'll look at Contenders Autos, the most important brand for both of them. I'm looking at it right now. We'll look at a PSA 8 Contenders Auto. So 2000 Brady Contenders Auto.
B. Barron made a great comment here. He said there's a lot about what Little Matt said, too attached to the cards and having a tough time to sell. I had this same conversation, Barron, with somebody last week. It's like, in order to be successful in the card hobby, you have to sell.
Okay, 26,976 for a Brady Contenders PSA 8.
Mm-hmm. 26,000?
Mm-hmm. 26,900.
But I would argue that Brady is inflated over a Montana or somebody like that.
So we'll look at Mahomes.
How do you feel about Gunnar Henderson? This is Angel. I have a first Bowman Auto PSA 10. You think it can grow? Yeah. So Angel, I think that this is a perfect example. Like Henderson had his arguably best season. I think he ended up probably batting 275 or something like that.
10,000.
So to your point, let's answer Angel. I think Henderson right now is I think there's going to be some regression in both Henderson and Adley because the Orioles have got to win. And so I think you see those guys kind of come back to earth a little bit. I mean, you've got Shohei, Soto, Judge, those guys, their price point. Look at a Freddie Freeman first Bowman Auto. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Freddie Freeman, first Bowman Auto, arguably going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be playing in the World Series more than likely this year. If Gunnar Henderson is doing more than Freddie Freeman, there's a little bit of a conflict there for me.
Yeah, I
So-
think, but still with Trey Turner, like what did the Trey Turner Orange just do on bids?
$1,000.
So a Trey Turner Orange BGS 9.5 did $1,000 on bids. A Gunnar Henderson Orange just did $10,000.
Yeah, so there's a massive inflation in Gunner's market, in my opinion. And Gunner he's super young. He has an opportunity to be much
I
better
agree.
than Turner. But the point being is 10x,
Yeah.
is he 10x's Turner's value? I don't think he's 10x. So I think he's got to come back a little bit. But to your point, okay, Mahomes. A Mahomes contenders auto.
PSA 8,
Right.
$10,000.
So Brady, you're saying is the ceiling, and it did 26.
Yeah.
And you're saying that
Mahomes
Mahomes
is
just
better than Brady.
did 10.
Yeah.
Mahomes is better than Brady.
Mahomes is a more talented player than Tom Brady. Brady's the greatest player of all time, but Mahomes is the most talented player of all time.
No, okay. the amount of glaze that you have for Mahomes is so strong.
I'm telling you, like I
He's good. I'm
I
not
have so
arguing.
much respect for him after I threw a football with pads on.
Oh, look at who it is. Dirty Bull Trading Co.
You-
Shout
no,
out.
I'll answer this question.
Michael, what's up,
Prospecting
buddy?
in baseball is a good thing to do if you have zero time, but you're always going to make more money flipping. I think that's the right answer.
Say that again?
He said, "Do you believe prospecting in baseball is more profitable than flipping Hall of Fame old school guys?" Flipping is always going to be your number one way to make money. I think so. If you're buying a prospect, buying it for $1,000, hoping it goes to $2,000, waiting 6 months, what could you do with that $1,000 in 6 months?
Well, what I would come back to you, Mike, and say is flip prospects. So instead of holding prospects, buy and grade prospects. So what we did with Walker Jenkins, for example, is you go out and you buy 6 or 7 cards of theirs, grade them, sell off 5 or 6, and then keep 1
Yeah.
long term.
Then
That's
you're
a
in
better
for
way with
nothing.
prospecting to me. Versus because prospecting, you're going to have to hold the card. You're going to have to buy the card. You're going to have to make a 6-month to a year investment at best. You're kind of hedging yourself a little bit, but the margins are so much better with prospecting than with like vintage. Like even if you buy vintage right at 90%, 85%, people are still going to want to pay you 90%, 85%. So you just have to kind of buy in bulk and whatever. I personally don't think vintage cards are there for buying and flipping. I think that the vintage cards are there for more holding your assets and then letting your prospecting be kind of your more liquid. I treat this whole thing like a stock portfolio. Like vintage cards and stuff are like my bonds. They're my secure. They're not going to go a lot up or a whole lot down. But then you have your like tech stocks, right, which are your prospects. And then you've got your blue chips, which are like your Mahomes and your Jordan. And so you have to kind of stay fairly liquid with that stuff in order to keep your capital cycling through instead of just buying a card sitting and hoping that one card goes up. It just has to be this constant cycle.
No, vintage is not a short-term thing. What I mean
I
by
didn't say that.
What I mean by short-term is like 1 to 2 years. Like I think flipping vintage is not the way to go. I think like 90s inserts of Michael Jordan, I think, are the easiest cards to flip because people pay whatever they want for them. Yeah, exactly. 90s basketball, people pay whatever they want for them because.
Well, here's the other point. Here's the other comment to your point, Mike, is I would also say do what you like. Like, 90s basketball really well, so stick with 90s basketball, right? It's when you try to get into stuff you're not necessarily familiar with that you can kind of get torched a little bit.
Yeah, and that's where I remember one time I bought a Connor Bedard.
Bedard.
I bought a Connor Bedard hockey card. I didn't get cooked on it.
Dad, look at this, Dad. You were like so
I
adamant.
was at church when I bought it.
Yeah, I know. You're at youth group buying a $700 Connor Bedard card, telling me you were going to get $1,100 for
No,
it.
I didn't. I paid $500, sold for $850.
Was it that big of a spread?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but like
I think you might
recently,
be inflating it there.
I've been buying only Patrick Mahomes, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, but I want to sell out probably about 20K in inventory before I make my next moves. And I think that buying grading. So I have 9 cards about to go off to grading, and I'm about to pick up a Mahomes Kaboom PSA 9.
I think the problem with you is you just like buying cards too much.
And
you just like buying cards, which is fine, but you have to sell cards consistently in order to make that happen.
yeah.
Sidebar, and then you can get back to the show. Great content. But when are we hanging? My man, we need to. I don't know.
Come to
I
the
don't-
card cave next
Yeah,
time you're in
you need to
Wilmington.
roll down to Wilmington, man. Bring it on down. We'll hang. All right. enough card chatter, which I think that was actually a really good conversation. We
Yeah.
probably
more
should.
card chatter. More card chatter.
We should probably just have me and you arguing on camera all the time.
Dude,
'cause
we'd make millions off of it.
we make millions off of it. You think so?
Yes, it'd be like the life.
Because you're
and-
never wrong.
The life in Ham House Sports. I'll argue to the death about how Patrick Mahomes and Michael Jordan are the best buys ever.
Oh,
Actually,
gosh.
I'll ask you this. You know who my favorite buys are? Who are your favorite buys? You get 3 players to buy. Who are you buying?
I like a guy like Walker Jenkins right now.
Then go buy more of them. Every time I show you one, you're like, oh, we already have too much. We already have too much.
Dude, we have bought
If you
$15,000.
if you think he's that good and if you think he's going to go up, then why not spend $50,000 on him?
because I don't want to spend $50,000. Like I have moderation. Like I have a ceiling of like, okay,
If I like the player that much, I'll spend. I mean,
it's like just because a car can go 200 miles an hour doesn't mean you need to drive it 200 miles an hour.
I know, but if the speed limit's 200 miles an hour, I will drive it 200 miles
Oh
an hour.
gosh.
I'll always go. I told Dad, like, I will always go, like, as much as I can,
To
as
the
fast
limit.
as I can.
To
Like,
the line.
I will always try to break that.
We should have the song from Scarface as our theme song. Push it to the limit. Y'all remember that from Scarface? Matthew has no idea what I'm talking about.
No.
Push it to the limit. Scarface is Al Pacino's probably greatest role. And he went to the line. And then he
Yeah.
ended up getting shot at the end and he died. And
No, but
lost
did he, like-
everything.
But, like, you know, like in the movie, we watched this at the hotel. He got a bunch of other people first. Like, you win a bunch and then you win a bunch, you make a bunch of money, and then you get cooked on one. But guess what? You go right back to
And
it
then
and
you
start
get blown
cooking
up
again.
in your mansion. Yeah. So Matthew is Scarface. That's your mentality. All right. So
Now
Matthew-
for boring college football.
Uncle Alan said Matthew needs a job. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and
A real job, right?
I wish I want a job that's actually like I can still do cards on the side because that I want to work at a card shop. That's what my job's gonna be next summer.
My man. All right. So let's give a little bit of a shout out to college football. Do you think Ohio State at Oregon? Who you got?
At Oregon, Ohio State doesn't lose. I'll go ahead and say it.
Ohio State. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Texas Red River rivalry at Oklahoma?
Texas winning the game, but I think Texas will cover. Arch Manning is legit.
You think he's going to cover?
Yes.
14 and a half?
Yes.
16 and a half.
Okay.
It's something like that.
Yeah, Texas is gonna beat him bad.
You think so?
Yes.
So Texas covers, Ohio State covers. What about Ole Miss at LSU?
Old Miss at LSU.
Night game at LSU. Spread's 2.5.
LSU doesn't. I got LSU.
LSU, not
Florida plays Tennessee in the swamp. Tennessee's cooking them.
I would agree there.
Fried gator.
LSU, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is ranked 9th. LSU's 13th. You say Ole Miss is going to cover?
Yeah.
It's 3.5.
Fried gator.
Fried gator.
Oklahoma money line. Yeah, you can place that bet, Mr. Jonathan.
Fritter says, "Give me that money line." That's actually like 4-1, isn't it? I think it's
But
something
you would
like
do
that.
ex-
Plus 400?
insanely well. You would do
Actually, it's plus 600, dude. Throw you a Bitcoin on that. 6-1, 1 Bitcoin. Let's go. Quinn Ewers is back, and OU has a vengeance today. Boomer. Look at Brian Harris. Brian is my man, straight out of Oklahoma.
Arch Manning's better than Quinn Ewers.
Huge Oklahoma fan. I hope it is going to be a good game for you guys. I do like Texas, but I have Oklahoma to cover. I don't think
Do
it's
you?
going to be as big. Yes, I have Oklahoma to cover. All right, any other games?
No, NFL tomorrow has some decent games, though. Let's see who the Chiefs play because that's all I care about.
Patrick Mahomes is my best ever.
He's so good. Also, we can talk about the MLB playoffs if you want a little bit. There we go.
Dude, who the
NFL. Hold up.
I think they're playing the
Commanders
Panthers.
Ravens is going to be an incredible game,
That is going to be a good game.
but Ravens are favored by 7.
Yeah,
Commanders better win.
you think so,
Yes, mark my words.
dude? He's got a bye this week.
Who?
Your boy.
Dang it!
He had too much pressure. He needed to take a break.
No, he didn't. He doesn't have pressure. Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose.
I will say Texas looks terrifyingly good this year, as much as it pains me to say. Well, at least that's an honest assessment, Brian. I would agree with you.
Next week, Chiefs 49ers in San Fran. Chiefs are beating them, and the market goes way up.
Dude, the market is not that volatile for him.
Exactly. It's not volatile. Why do you think I buy him?
Fritter, I do agree. Oklahoma covers seriously.
Let's go Bitcoin on a parlay.
Yeah, Major League Baseball. Let's talk about this. The Phillies just got owned by the Mets. How crazy is this going to be? You're going to have the Mets and the Dodgers, and you're going to have the Yankees and probably the Tigers.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Tigers go just because they never get to go. So you're going to have Detroit, New York, and LA. Like, that's going to be really good for like the baseball marketplace. You're going to have all of New York lined up and ready to go. You're going to have LA's market.
Dude, it would be so awesome if the Dodgers and the Yankees play in the World Series.
I mean,
like that would be so.
Well, it would be fitting because they spend the most money of any.
I know that, but like, dude, to see the two MVPs to play in the World Series against each other.
Well, Judge has not shown up. I mean, Ohtani's been decent, but like the playoffs are just about who gets hot, man.
I think Ohtani and Mahomes they're playing right now, but they're the best players to play their sport.
We get a Ohtani Mahomes dual auto.
Dude, I would love that. We should show my Curry jersey. Can
that
I
is actually super cool.
You talk to them. I'm gonna go get it.
How am I going to talk to them? I got to hold them. You better hurry.
Talk about your parlays. You always like talking
my
about
parlays. All right, Matthew wants to show you guys. This actually come full circle. It's super cool. So if anybody wants to hang out, he'll be back in like a minute. He's just got to run up to his room and get it. So when we started in the sports card hobby, little Matt wanted to go from $0 to $10,000 in sports cards, and by that Christmas, so within like 4 or 5 months, we were getting pretty close. But I took Tua Tagovailoa and I traded it for a signed Steph Curry jersey, which was like Matthew's favorite player. And at the time, it was like, dude, we never thought we would ever have a signed Steph Curry jersey. So we got the jersey and we just had it hanging up for years. And then we actually took it to Port City Collectibles, the sports card shop here, and they have a shipping service where they'll ship it off and get it framed up for you. And so Matthew got his Steph Curry jersey, signed Steph Curry jersey frame, and here he is with the Steph Curry jersey. So here, hand it to me. So can we see that?
Shout out Joe Schmo.
Let's see if we can see this. Yeah, I can see it. It's kind of far away, but it's super cool.
Got it framed from Port City Sports Collectibles, Jeremy, Jameson, Alfie, all them. Shout out to them.
You can see the authentication there. So this is kind of the prize of Matthew's collection, and it is going in his.
I would love a Michael Jordan signed jersey if any of y'all have one for me.
Now we're going Michael Jordan signed jerseys. What about Mahomes, man? You know Mahomes signed jerseys?
Mahomes signed jerseys are freaking expensive. I'd rather have Michael Jordan.
But they can only go up because he's the greatest player that's ever put the shoes on.
But like Mahomes signed so much. Jordan doesn't sign.
I know. My point exactly. These
That's why I'm
modern
not buying
players
Mahomes autographs.
they sign so much. But all right, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. We're gonna wrap up.
We got Bills and Bengals tomorrow, I think.
Bills and Bengals?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
That'd
Anything else you want to say?
Anything else you want to say? Well, let's do more card talk.
I think we're good on card talk. We've been going for 28 minutes. But all right, guys. Peace out. Have a good Saturday. Thank y'all for watching. See ya.